What's up, guys? This is Jake. I'm a beginner trader, and today we're going to go over my A plus setup that happened the last 2 days in a row in two different scenarios that had two different results. Let's jump right into it. So let's take a look at my Tradeify 50K growth funded account that I'm trying to pass the evaluation phase with. Right now, we are still at a net PNL of $392. Trade win percentage is 45%. We have a profit factor of 1.36. On Friday, I had a negative $10 day. It was from a $211 loser followed by a $201 winner. It was a good trading day, and let's hop over to TradingView and we'll take a look at the chart and kind of go over what I was looking at on that day. So on Friday, chart on Friday, we were super patient for a trade, and it actually ended up paying out really well. I didn't take a trade until about 8:05, and that was because price was just kind of chopping around. It wasn't really giving much at all. This is on the 5-minute time frame, obviously. Maybe I did not want to do that. Let's go back. Price just was not doing a lot. This is on the 5-minute time frame, obviously, and I was waiting for a bigger kind of manipulation or like draw to happen throughout the morning. Let's see if we can throw on this ICT indicator. And yeah, so like London highs got swept. Obviously, there was no liquidity down low from London lows. And so we were just waiting for some kind of manipulation to occur to basically like give us a reason to go long. And I was hoping for a long this day. And so as we were waiting for that, price started moving down on NASDAQ, I think, a little more aggressively. Let's take a look. And we had these 5-minute lows, which could have been hourly lows after price kind of populated. But on these 5-minute lows, NASDAQ ended up sweeping them. And this was kind of my indication that I should probably look to go long. So NASDAQ swept these lows. ES ended up not sweeping these lows. As you can see, it's kind of holding a little bit more bullish, so I was looking for longs on ES, and I was just going to target these local highs, which were like 6:30 a.m. highs that already got swept before, but that was going to be like the main target, as you can see with this long position on this first, and this is an A+ setup right here. On this first entry that I took, we were getting down legs, and I'm pretty sure I was on, let's see what time frame. Yeah, so we got this fair value gap on the 3-minute. It was a bearish fair value gap coming down into, I actually think, so I took this one first. So this is what we got. On this first leg down, we had this 3-minute gap right here that got invalidated, and we had a really nice retest, and I entered at the bottom of this wick candle in the inversion box and went long, and I was targeting the 6:30 a.m. highs, and I put my stop loss right below this box, which was a $211 loser. It was a perfect setup, a perfect retest, perfect entry, perfect inversion model. Price just ended up stopping me out. As I was watching price, it did not take out these lows again. The SMT was still valid on both NASDAQ and ES, and so I just targeted the same exact thing. As you can see, I drew another 3-minute fair value gap that got printed right here. Absolutely perfect. And at the break, I think I just did the same thing. Candle closed above that fair value gap. I entered long, and I put my stop losses below these lows. And just like that played out. Actually, on the second trade, this is something that I really need to be better on. I was playing it too cautious, and I only entered 2 contracts on my second trade. The first trade was a 4-contract loser. The second trade was a 2-contract, and it was because I wanted to put my stops down here initially just to like kind of get through the chop, and then just wanted to like play it a little bit safer. And so that's what happened on that trade, and it was a really good trade, really good winner, but I ended up only having 2 contracts, and so I closed both at this high, which was basically just a break-even day, but I didn't have any other contracts to let run to some higher targets, which it did end up hitting, I'm pretty sure. I was probably targeting these highs for a longer time frame play. And so that was a really good A plus setup for me, and it was a loser and then a winner. And if I would have had full contract size, then it would have worked perfectly. And this morning we got another really good obvious setup for longs. We had market open was right about here. We took out these London highs, which is the only draws that we could look for. We had London lows on equal lows on the ES, and NASDAQ had swept London lows. So I didn't really think that we were going to be going all the way down there, and price has just been pretty bullish over the last few days. So I was looking for higher targets this morning, and as we swept London highs, I marked out the 6:30 a.m. highs that price kind of aggressively pushed up to, and we finally got a pullback. I was waiting for some kind of manipulation. I had this 5-minute fair value gap that had not been retested yet. Or not 5-minute. I'm pretty sure this was a 15-minute that hadn't been retested. So it was a pretty clean fair value gap. Let's see if we could get it. No, it wasn't a 15-minute. Oh, it was a 1 hour. So a clean 1 hour fair value gap that hadn't been retested. And so off rip this morning, I was kind of just hoping and waiting for that box to get retested on one of the indices, and ES did make its way down there, swept these lows at the same time. NASDAQ was holding really strong, and so that was an obvious bullish SMT right there. Again, we didn't really get a 5-minute fair value gap inversion, and so I scaled down to the 2-minute, and that was like the only place that I could find a little cheeky fair value gap on this bearish momentum down, and right away we flipped it. I was waiting for the retest. This candle just seemed pretty bearish to me and kind of spooked me, so I didn't enter off that. I wanted to see what the next candle did, and I just kind of waited too long and missed my entry. I think at this candle I was like pretty confident that we were going to go up, and I wanted an entry, but price just never gave it to me because the R to R just didn't really make sense. So I think I set like a limit order, maybe like right there. And I was going to put my stops down here. And it was kind of going to be the same play where like if I got stopped out, I was willing to go for another long. But I just simply like never got filled. I don't know where my limit order was, at least to a 1-to-1. And I wasn't really willing to take anything less than that just because the stops were so low. But again, it is an absolute A plus setup. Got a break of this fair value gap, perfect retest into the gap, and you just moved straight out of it, which was a bummer that I missed that one. It was right at the perfect time, 6:55, and price did end up going up pretty high. 6:30 a.m. highs, those were the obvious targets, and if you would have let some runners ride, then you could have had a great P&L day. So that was a bummer for me. Cool to see 2 A plus setups in a row though, and to be able to just react to what the charts are giving me, and really psyched on that. On some other notes, this eval account is on week 3, and so this week I'm gonna go all out and try to pass it, either pass the eval portion or nuke the account and just start another one. So I'm going to upsize. Today I was trying to enter in with 10 contracts. Tomorrow I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to try to basically just pass this eval and get to the funded portion so I can start working towards payouts and use my risk management and all my rules in that phase of the prop firm. So anyways, that's about it. Here's a recap on Tradeify, and we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll find a trade. Later, guys.